Hello students, welcome to the next session. Today we'll be discussing about the remaining properties of inverse trigonometric functions. So we start with these properties, very important ones they are. That is sin inverse x plus cos inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is also equal to pi by 2. Likewise cosecant inverse x plus secant inverse x is equal to pi by 2. Okay. Then we come to tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. This formula is equal to tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Likewise, if we replace this by a minus sign, we replace in this particular formula, we replace the signs. Plus becomes minus and minus becomes plus. Likewise, 2 tan inverse x in terms of sine is sine inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square. In terms of cos, it is cos inverse 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square. In terms of tan, it is tan inverse 2x upon 1 minus x square. Right? Following the various principal value ranges for these inverse trigonometric functions. Right? So with this, we move on to exercise 2.2, which are based upon these properties and the ones that we had discussed in the previous module. We have first question. You have to prove that 3 sine inverse x is equal to sine inverse 3x minus 4x cube. Now, we'll be solving or proving these questions with the help of substitutions. We had done some similar formula in class 11th, right? That is 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta gives us sine 3 theta. So, what if I take x as sine theta in the right hand side? So, this gets replaced by sine theta, 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta, right? Which is equal to sine inverse, and this is the representation of sine 3 theta. Sine inverse sine of any angle is that angle, which is 3 theta. And instead of theta, what I can write is sine inverse x. This way, theta is equal to sine inverse x. So what is this equal to? This is equal to the left hand side, which had to be proved. Therefore, LHS is equal to RHS. Right? Moving on to question number 2. Question number 2 has to be done similarly, where 3 cos inverse x has to be proved equal to cos inverse 4x cube minus 3x. Again, we can take x as cos theta and apply the similar formula and solve it out. So please do it for practice. Question number 3. Tan inverse 2 by 11 plus tan inverse 7 by 24 is equal to tan inverse 1 by 2. Recently, we have done one of the properties, that is tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Right? So beginning with the left hand side, tan inverse A plus tan inverse B, that is tan inverse 2 by 11 plus 7 by 24 upon 1 minus 2 by 11 into 7 by 24. Right? So we'll be proving it. Tan inverse, remember, 24 into 11, that is 4, 264. 11 goes into 264 24 times. 24 into 2 is 48 plus 77. Likewise, this is 264. 264 minus 14. This 264 and 264, because they are both in the denominator, can be cancelled, or you can show it by finding out the reciprocal. 48 plus 77. This is 48 and 77, this is 15, 11 and 12, 125 upon, this is 0, 250, right? And 125, 2s are 250, that is tan inverse 1 by 2. And this is what? Your RHS. Therefore, with the help of a simple inverse trigonometric formula, we have proved that LHS is equal to RHS. This is how we are going to prove this, right? Moving on to question number 4. It is to be done in the similar method, in the similar way, right? here the only thing that you will notice is, I'll give you a hint, that is 2 inverse 1 by 2 plus tan inverse 1 by 7 is equal to tan inverse 31 by 17. This is what you are supposed to prove in this particular question. First of all, we can apply the formula. Here we won't be going directly with tan inverse plus tan inverse x plus tan inverse y because we have a 2 over here, right? So we'll apply 2 tan inverse x formula, that is tan inverse 2x upon 1 minus x square. So for this particular expression, it will be tan inverse 2 into 1 by 2 upon 1 minus 1 by 4 plus tan inverse 1 by 7. So this is tan inverse, if you solve, 1 upon 3 by 4. So that is 4 by 3 plus tan inverse 1 by 7. Now you can apply the formula and prove it equal to tan inverse 31 by 17, right? So please try and do this yourself as a practice. Okay, this is the hint for question number 4. With this, we move on to question number 5. In question number 5, again we have to find out, in question number 5, we have to write the following functions in the simplest form, right? So we are supposed to represent these functions in the simplest form possible. So wherever we have to write a particular inverse trigonometric function in the simple form, we'll be going with the substitution. We'll be substituting the value of x so that a particular identity can be formed over here, right? Now what if I take x as tan theta? Right, so this is tan inverse 1 plus tan square theta minus 1 upon tan theta. It can be written this way, right? Again, tan inverse 1 plus tan square theta is what? Secant square theta, and under root of secant square theta becomes secant theta. So if this is tan inverse secant theta minus 1 upon tan theta, right? So substitution, it is just the presence of mind which you have to apply so that a particular a particular identity can be formed. Ultimately, reducing this into simplest form means we need to get this expression in terms of tan of something. So that tan inverse tan of something, we get that particular value inside the bracket, right? So we have to think about those substitution, which is possible only if you practice such questions thoroughly. So tan inverse secant theta can be written as 1 upon cos theta minus 1, and this tan theta can be written as sin theta upon cos theta, right? I'm further simplifying it here. So this is tan inverse, taking the LCM cos theta, I have 1 minus cos theta up in the denominator and sin theta upon cos theta in the denominator here. Cos and cos gets cancelled because both the terms are in the denominator. We are left with tan inverse 1 minus cos theta upon sin theta. So we have tan inverse 1 minus cos theta is 2 cos square theta by 2. And sin theta is sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. 2 and 2 gets cancelled, cos and cos gets cancelled. So we have tan inverse, this is cot of theta by 2, right? So how can we write cot, right? See, tan inverse, remember the transformation, cot theta by 2 can be written as tan pi by 2 minus theta by 2, right? And tan inverse tan pi by 2 minus theta by 2, 90 minus theta by 2, tan inverse tan, remember this will become pi by 2 minus theta by 2, which is our simplest form, right? Till now we have not got this in the simplest of form because our expression was in terms of x, and here we have got it in terms of theta. So if I come back to the substitution, x is equal to tan theta. So theta is equal to what? Tan inverse x. So replacing this, we have pi by 2 minus tan inverse x upon 2. This will be our final simplest form. I hope it's clear, students. All these formulas have been discussed earlier in your class 11th. You need to memorize them all. Right? So this is how you are going to solve this in the simplest form. Okay. Moving on to question number 6. Tan inverse 1 upon under root of x square minus 1. Right? So hypothetically I have taken x as cosecant theta. I will take it as cosecant theta. So we have tan inverse 1 upon cosecant square theta minus 1 is equal to tan inverse. What is cosecant square theta minus 1 equal to? That is cot square theta, and under root cot square theta gives us 1 upon cot theta. Right? And what is tan inverse 1 upon cot theta? Remember we had done this particular ratio. That is 1 upon cot can be written as tan theta, reciprocal ratio. So tan inverse tan of theta is equal to theta. And what is theta equal to? X is equal to cosecant theta. So theta is equal to cosecant inverse x. So that's our simplest form. I hope you all are understanding, students. In case you have any kind of doubts, please drop in your queries. Right. Moving on to question number 7. Again, we have to reduce all these into the simplest form possible. Tan inverse under root of 1 minus cos x. Remember, 1 minus cos x can be written as sine square x by 2. And 1 plus cos x can be written as 2 cos square x by 2. Right? I hope you know this. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. Sine square upon cos square. This is under root of tan square x by 2. So that is tan inverse tan of x by 2. So this is equal to x by 2. Right? This is one of the simplest one. Question number 7. Moving on to question number 8. Very important from examination point of view. Tan inverse cos x minus sin x upon cos x plus sin x. There is no direct identity that we have learned to be applied, which can be applied over here. So what we will do is, we will divide the numerator and the denominator by cos x. So dividing numerator and denominator inside the bracket by cos x. So what do we get? Tan inverse this upon cos x. So that is 1 minus tan x upon 1 plus tan x. So tan inverse, instead of 1, I can write tan pi by 4, because tan 45 degrees is also 1, minus tan x upon 1 plus tan pi by 4 into tan x. I hope there is no such problem in representing this. Instead of 1, I have written tan pi by 4 minus tan x upon 1 plus, here we don't have anything, so I can take 1 in multiplication with tan x, and instead of this 1 I can write tan pi by 4. Now which identity is this? Remember, tan x, tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a tan b is equal to tan of a minus b. So we have tan inverse tan of pi by 4 minus x, class 11th. Right? So tan inverse tan of angle is the angle itself. So what is the simplest form? It's pi by 4 minus x. I hope it's clear to all. Right. We move on to the next question. That is question number 9. Tan inverse x upon under root of a square minus x square. Now I have to think what I can take x as. See, I need here tan inverse, this particular term must be something in terms of tan. So what if I have sine over here and cos over here? Which is possible only if I take x as a sine theta. Right? Why am I taking a sine theta? Because I don't have a numerical value here. I have a constant a square, right? So that gives us a hint. So tan inverse, this is a sine theta upon under root of a square minus x square becomes a square sine square theta, right? So we have, remember, tan inverse a sine theta upon a square common 1 minus sine square theta. So that is tan inverse a sine theta upon a cos theta. Why a cos theta? Because a square, once it comes out, becomes a, and 1 minus sine square theta becomes cos square theta, and it is under a square root sign. So outside the square root sign, it becomes a cos theta. A and a cancels. So we have tan inverse tan of theta, which is equal to theta. And what is theta equal to? Because we need our answer in terms of x. So remember, sine theta is equal to x by a, and theta is equal to sine inverse x upon a. So here theta is sine inverse x upon a, which is the simplest form, right? So just see the substitution how we have made. X is a sine theta, so sine theta is x upon a. We have to go step by step. It does not become sine inverse or a sine inverse x. No, first of all you will be finding out, you will be taking this term down, so cross multiply. Then we are left with sine theta here. Then we will be doing theta is equal to sine inverse x by a. I hope it's clear, students. Moving on to question number 10. Tan inverse 3a square x minus x cube upon a cube minus 3a x square. Right? So we have, let's take x as tan theta, a tan theta, right? So we have tan inverse, this is something similar to the formula that we know, that is tan 3 theta is equal to 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta upon 1 minus 3 tan square theta, right? This is the formula that we know of. So tan inverse, we have 3. Instead of x, we can put a tan theta. So a square into a tan theta becomes a cube tan theta minus a cube tan cube theta upon a cube minus 3 a into a square tan square theta, that is 3a cube tan square theta. Right? Simply we have put x is equal to a tan theta over here, because the formula that we know of does not have the value a. Now what we can see, a cube is common, right? So we can take it common and cancel out from the numerator and the denominator. So what are we left with? 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta upon 1 minus 3 tan square theta. So that is tan inverse tan 3 theta, which is equal to 3 theta. And what is this equal to? Instead of theta, since we had taken x equal to a tan theta, so remember x upon a is equal to tan theta, and theta is tan inverse x by a. So it's 3 tan inverse x upon a, which is our final value, simplest form. I hope it's clear, students. With this, we move on to question number 11. We have to find out the value of this. In question number 11 to 15, we have to simply find out the values of the following. So tan inverse, we'll just go by the innermost bracket term. So 2, sine inverse 1 by 2. Sine inverse 1 by 2 at what angle? 30 degree. So it's pi by 6. Right? So that's 3. Now we have tan inverse. This is 2 cos pi by 3. Cos pi by 3 is 60 degree. What does it give us? Cos 60 degree is again 1 by 2. This 2 and this 2 cancels. What are we left with? Tan inverse 1. And at what angle is tan equal to 1? At pi by 4. So value of this expression is simply pi by 4. Is it clear? So we have to go with the innermost bracket term first and then we have to proceed outside. Likewise, question number 12. Cot of tan inverse A plus cot inverse A. Similar angles. So tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2 and cot of pi by 2 is equal to 0. Hope it's clear. Question number 13. Now tan inverse 1 by 2 sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square plus cos inverse 1 minus y square upon 1 plus y square. Simply if we go by the initial formulas, remember where we had represented 2 tan inverse x by 3 formulas, either sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square, which is also equal to cos inverse 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square, or it can be tan inverse 2x upon 1 minus x square. So directly in terms, I can write, instead of the sin inverse 2x upon 1 plus x square, I can write 2 tan inverse x, right? And likewise, cos inverse 1 minus y square upon 1 plus y square, what I can write? Here we have used y. So instead of x, I can put 2 tan inverse y. Simply, right? Now, tan of 1 by 2. Taking 2 common, what are we left with? Tan inverse x plus tan inverse y. This 2 and 2 cancels. So tan of, remember, this is not tan into tan inverse x plus tan into tan inverse y. We need to solve this bracket term first. We have another formula. So that is tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus xy, right? Now tan of tan inverse becomes the angle itself. So this is equal to x plus y upon 1 minus xy. Simple questions, students, these are. Please don't apply the properties which have been explained, other than the properties which have been explained to you, right? Just as I told you, tan, this is not equal to tan of tan inverse x plus tan of tan inverse y. You cannot apply a distributive property here, right? So you have to go with the formulas, the consolidated formulas, and then you can apply the overall formulas, right? I hope it's clear to you. Please practice till here until we meet in the next module. Thank you.